Hello and welcome everyone to today's News Tonight, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests and our lovely patrons to discuss the day's gaming news. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Steve Bowling and our special guest, the Nintendo power couple, Danny Pytel and Philly Amano. So let's see what's on the docket tonight, and, well, first up on the docket, welcome Danny and Philia. How you guys doing?
Hey, good to be here. Yes. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, seriously.
It's been a long time. Yeah, I feel like it's been forever. Last time I saw the two of you in person, I want to say it was at PAX, and you guys were working with Thunderful Games.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That was fun. I remember
that was so awesome.
we spent, like a solid 2 hours trying to find a place just to hang out and, go have a drink. And
Yes,
every bar was
closing,
magically
and
closed.
we're like, we need to go somewhere.
Everything was
Boston's
closed. We tried every single place. Yeah, that was, hopping around Seattle.
Oh, no, it's Seattle. It's been so long since I've been to
still
PAX Prime. I think that's what they call it now.
It's called West now, but yeah, it
Oh,
was
PAX
Prime.
Prime. Yeah, I'm so used to Prime from the old days. But yeah, I haven't gone to a PAX Prime in
That was
years.
a fun event, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that
we
whenever
talked to
the...
E3 before.
Oh man, remember when E3
sorry, go
existed and
No.
PAX existed?
Now, I want to make sure that you guys know, interrupt this. We want to. You guys are guests, so talk.
Yeah, please. Jump right in.
We talk over the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just saying,
Take
we've
over,
been to
make my job
E3,
easy.
And we've been to PAX, and we actually really loved PAX even more than E3. So
Yeah.
that was
Meeting
awesome.
meeting a lot of the developers, it was like that indie vibe there. I liked a lot more. I think what was it? We played
Poda, how do you say it again?
Poda.
Poda?
And then we played. I think when the Messenger came out, I think it was in Boston for PAX East. We played, and then the one guy was like, "What do you think of the game?" I said, "Oh, it was good." He's like, "Yeah, I made it." And I'm like, "Oh, the developer was standing the whole time, at the Nintendo booth, watching everybody play." And I'm like, "Thank God I didn't say it wasn't my
thing."
Yeah, fantastic game by the way.
I remember when the
you
first
got that
year E3 was opening it up to the public, and just on the podcast every time, just saying, "Don't go. It's not like other conventions. There are no things you can go to. You're not going to get into the Sony press conferences or the Xbox ones or even Ubisoft or EA. It's not going to happen. It is just waiting in lines and game demos." And of course, a lot of people still showed up, and I ended up meeting Amy there, so kind of worked out. Despite all that,
That's awesome.
the time I was telling everybody
go
go away is where I meet Amy. So go figure.
That's
Most people go to E3 for the pins and badges. Derek goes there to find a wife.
Yeah,
We're not married yet, but yeah.
Hey,
Oh yeah, it's gonna
It's
happen.
gonna
That's some
happen.
good
Let's be
advice.
honest.
yeah. I like you.
It's gonna happen. But yeah, I guess I haven't seen you two. I might have saw you at one of the events, but not for very long. Remember the longest we got to hang out was during the Sushi Striker event in New York.
Yes.
yeah, that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool event. That was we played Sushi Striker at a sushi place in New York City, and
Oh,
the
wow.
little conveyor belts that with the sushi was going by, and we all had switches at the tables, and yeah, that's where we got the. I think Derek, we walked to the
battle
train
a little
station
bit.
after that.
Yeah,
and
I think we
chatted
did.
and stuff. It was cool. It was a good event.
It was a
Tasty
fun event, and I meant I came there ready to capture footage, and there was they said they'd have TV set up so we could get that kind of capture.
Yeah.
And no, that wasn't happening. It was too crowded, and you had to kind of get it off the Switch itself, so it was really tricky. So
We brought all of our stuff from Jersey, loaded a backpack
Yeah,
with all of
same.
our equipment, and we have our laptop, everything, hard drives, ready to do some direct capture. And we got there oh yeah, we're not doing that tonight. We're like, oh, okay.
all right, I'm glad I lugged all this up to New York. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
This happened a couple times.
Yeah.
it was one of the first times I've gotten to go to those type of events where it's like, hey, we're gonna feed you as well as get you these things, because usually it's just, hey, come in, play the games, and okay, thanks for coming, go back out. This one, there's food involved, and I was just getting plate after plate of sushi. That looks interesting. I'll try that.
So good.
Yeah.
The food was really so good.
Food helps. It helps. It helps the gaming experience, I think. I'm always.
Especially sushi.
Yes, when you play Sushi Strikers and you're just fed sushi, that was the perfect way to play that
Just
game, I think.
conveyor belt it right into my mouth while I play. That would be the best.
And Fantasy Thinker Fan, I agree. I did not actually finish Sushi Striker, but what I played of it there, it was actually really fun and had way more production value than I'd ever would have imagined. But it's definitely better in handheld mode, and I think it was always going to be one of those niche games. Like, it had no chance.
It was a game designed for a touchscreen, and it released right when the big draw of the Switch was everyone, kind of docking it and playing all these console quality games, and it was just a 3DS game that was up-resed, and that's unfortunate because it is fun, but it definitely works way better on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a great like the story, like Derek said, the cinematics. It was really like watching an anime. But then when it came to the gameplay, like we like playing on the TV a lot, and it was just like there was really no skill involved. You're just pressing a button, like moving the control stick and hoping you link up plates. And
I couldn't get like what the strategy of it was. Is there a strategy? I don't know.
Kind of. I was doing well in the competitive mode.
Strategy.
I don't know. I did okay.
Competitive mode was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the competitive mode was cool. I like that. That was the head-to-head stuff was cool. But like, playing the story, I felt like, again, like Steve said, it was like a 3DS game. Using a stylus and being able to draw on it and link your plates, that would have been so much better than the Switch version. So, but we have it. We haven't finished it ourselves either, though, for the same reason.
Too many good games.
Yeah,
too
many good games.
Yeah.
How can you focus on one game?
Yeah, it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but. Well, I guess we should actually jump into our news topics. If you can't tell, news is a bit anemic this week. Today. I'm so used to like doing this on a weekly format. I still have that language in my vernacular, I guess. But ironically enough, we invite the Nintendo Power Couple for the launch of the PS5, which is the biggest news today.
Perfect choice, guys.
Perfect.
Yeah, makes complete sense. But the PS5 has launched. A bunch of games came out. I haven't had a chance today to check out a lot of the reviews, but I saw just offhand that apparently Sackboy's Big Adventure is a lot of fun. You got to try out Demon Souls,
yes,
Steve, and from what I saw of you playing that, looked pretty solid. By the way, you're way better at parrying than I am in that game.
Man,
I sucked at parrying when I played it on PS3.
I was really surprised because, like, in the comments, someone's like, "Are we witnessing the birth of a parry god?" And I was like, "Is it that hard?" Like, I don't understand because I've never touched a Souls game, and so I was just like, "Oh, okay." I bash him with the shield, and I was just thinking, like, "Okay, the timing feels really similar to Breath of the Wild." I was like, "I got this."
I might be better now.
Because like. I saw people stunting on the on the Guardians with the shield bash, so I was like, I'm gonna master that, and I totally did. Like, I can parry a Guardian all day long, and so I was like, yep. And it feels, at least from a muscle memory standpoint, exactly the same. So I was just like, oh yeah, I got this.
Nice.
Dude swings, smash him, run him through, pin him to the ground, and I finally killed my first demon today. And I posted on Twitter. I'm like, am I doing this right? Because I honestly don't know. Am I? But I got to the point where I was just like parrying people all the way through the level and just killing them, and I was like, okay, maybe I am kind of good at this. Like, maybe I do know what I'm doing a tiny bit, but I have zero frame of reference, so I'm either really good or people are just really nice. I don't know.
I think it's 75-25. Yeah. But maybe I'll be better because I don't know if you realize this from the demo of Hyrule Warriors, Steve. But you can parry the Guardian's blast in that as well.
I saw that, and I tried, and the timing feels different. So I was like,
wow.
I was trying to do a flurry rush too, and the timing felt different on that. Like, I feel like in Breath of the Wild, I know the flurry rush timing really, really well too. I'm like, okay, do a backflip right now, and because I went Lionel hunting in Breath of the Wild. Like, once I beat it, I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to go kill all the bad, big bad monsters too. And so I feel like I got that timing down, and then I played the Age of Calamity demo, and I was like, I feel like a complete noob again. I have no clue how to fight these guys and do all the cool stuff. So I do have to take another run at the demo. It's been insanely busy with PlayStation 5 coverage, so I've played maybe 20 minutes of it. I really need to go back and give it a fair shake.
That's fair.
We haven't even played it yet, actually. We downloaded it, but we were kind of waiting for the launch of it. We said maybe we'll just try it for go into it fresh on launch day. It's actually my birthday it launches
Oh,
on,
that's
so it's
cool.
like,
Wow.
it's
Happy
like
birthday.
perfect timing, November
You
20th.
always get really lucky.
Well, he has a
Yeah.
November
Games come
birthday,
out
so
on your
it's
birthday.
kind of natural.
Yeah, man.
I get
you-
Metroids and Zeldas. It's really I get very
Man.
lucky with Zeldas and
Your-
Metroids usually.
Your
yeah.
parents were
I walk
probably
away
so
for 5
upset.
minutes, you guys.
Yeah.
I have to go get him his
It
birthday
was
present on
always-
the day of his birth every year. There's always something.
Yeah. Yeah, so we haven't played it yet. I know, like, I'm really excited to try it. I know that I think the demo carries over to your full
Yes.
game, so maybe if I'm tempted, maybe we'll play
Maybe
it a
the
little
night
bit.
before.
But if not, I'm going to hold off for, release day, I think.
I'm tempted to just restart once I get it. Just because, even though I played the demo, I'd like to have that fresh start. Like I have that little bit of under my belt, but let's go in ready to go. I think that's my whole thing. So
Yeah, I think we do the same thing. Like even with but like I think it was
for
like
the most part.
yeah, I think Dragon Quest did the same thing. Dragon Quest Builders, like
I
we
have-
played and started over again, and
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
like a weird thing in my mind where I want it to be the file, like start fresh on the file.
Yeah.
don't
I'm
know
the
if
same
that's
way.
The guy.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't-
know. Does
I'm
that
not
make
gonna
any
lie.
sense?
I'm-
Like, that's
I'm
the guy
I'm the
you
odd one
start.
out here with this. Like if a demo carries over, that inspires me to play the demo just because I'm like, oh, I actually got like a fresh or a jump start on the actual game when it comes out. I think in Dragon Quest Builders, I started building like an
I'll be
apartment
back,
building.
guys.
I was
We-
like,
The
Yeah.
puppy scratching
I'm
at
keeping
the
that.
door. I'm
Nice.
sorry. I'll be back.
no worries.
Oh,
we
it's
have
all
we
right.
just got a puppy, and he's scratching at the door to go
Potty trained,
outside. Yeah, he's potty trained, so he knows like to scratch at the door. So we and the door is right on the other side of this computer screen. So like all we just see is him scratching at the door. So that's why I feel he's running away to let him out to use the bathroom.
oh, it's
I
all
would
right.
say
So,
that's
she'll be back
way
in
better
seconds.
than the alternative.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
is
don't want to
for
sit and be like, wait, what is that smell? And
Yeah, that would be
Gotta figure-
a way worse way to have to exit the episode.
yeah, be right back, guys.
That
And
is-
just kind of yeah.
yeah, that's for
By
sure.
the way, Danny, I have to mention a few of our patrons in the chat have complimented you on your dope sweatshirt. Like that is such an awesome.
Thank you.
Like I'm jealous. I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, I love that. Oh, it's a T-shirt.
Like
I think
T-shirt, yeah.
along with a few patrons thought it was a sweatshirt, but man, that is slick. I love that. Like I
It's-
miss the
I-
old school Nintendo like art style and vibe, like where they were really into color.
I don't even.
Ah,
Yeah. Well, the 64 is like my favorite console, and this was a gift. I think my parents got it for
Oh,
me,
wow.
like for Christmas. It was part of our Christmas stuff. So I don't even know where. I'll ask them where they got it from if anybody wants to get one for themselves. But it's super comfy, and it's just a gigantic having a 64 jersey on. So
nice.
I have gamer T-shirts. I've been wearing polos for these things, or just trying to look somewhat professional. I feel the pressure because this was John's channel before, and he always wore the suits. I'm like, well, I got to carry it over a little bit. And the other thing is I have had since I've lost quite a bit of weight this year. None of my clothes fit. I need to have a belt on at all times, or those pants are not staying up. So I've just not had a chance to
that's good though.
get clothes that actually fit and look good on me. So there's go.
See, I have the opposite problem. I put on the Quarantine 15, and then I doubled that, and then I tripled that.
Oh.
So my suit doesn't fit because
Me
it's
too.
too small.
Oh,
I'm too
no.
big. Yeah, this is actually just a model of my growth right here.
Oh
I'm in the
goodness.
same boat as you. I gotta get back on the Ring Fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I finally, because I moved at the very beginning of all this with no idea what was laying ahead, right? I moved into a house in Mesa from an apartment in Phoenix, and I had Ring Fit, and I was like, oh, packed it up in a box, and then the other day it kind of was staring at me in the garage. It's like, you know what you need to do. so now
It
it's
calls
up
out
here
to you
at
when you
least.
walk by it, and
Yeah. I just avert my gaze. I'm like, next time Ring Fit. Next
just
time.
go like.
So
Maybe
getting
the
back
features
to
to put into it, I think.
getting back to the PlayStation 5. I know, Steve, obviously you already have yours. I will get mine whenever Ratchet and Clank comes out. But Danny and Ophelia, do you guys have any
Good
plans
call.
on picking up the PS5 anytime soon? Or you?
Oh, we missed out on pre-orders. I feel it usually plays like all the Nintendo consoles, but I play the Xbox and PlayStation as well. So I don't have it yet, but I am planning on getting a PS5.
Nice.
So
It's not that I have anything against the other consoles. It's just I grew up playing all the Nintendo systems. So at this point, I feel like I'm gonna stick with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we have a PlayStation 4, and you'll watch me play some games on the PS4 and stuff.
I experienced the stories through you by watching you play like the Xbox and PlayStation games, but then like Nintendo games I played myself.
And we played like Crash Team Racing on the PS4 with her brother, with her two brothers, and it was a lot of fun. And she got used to the PlayStation controller because we have it on the Switch as well, so it was a little bit of a learning curve. But
if it's a racing game, though, I'll definitely play it, whatever system it is.
Yeah.
so
yeah, it's on the horizon. It'll be.
Yeah. So Philia's going to be picking up Gran Turismo 7 and just going full gearhead.
Yes, I think so.
That's great.
Something about racing games, I just like really love them.
And you're good at them too. She kicks my butt at them, so.
No.
It's been a while since I've really stuck with a racing game. I think the last one I can remember just spending all my time on was Burnout 3. I played it with my friend in college.
My God. So good.
Oh, I remember us staying up so late because the final challenge is you get the F1 racer car, and you got to get through it with in a really tight time limit. You touch anything and you're going flying, and we just pass off the controller back and forth. It's like, tag out, man, it's too much for me. And next one would try and get a little further each time. We eventually pulled it off, but that felt really good. Like, yeah, it's cool we got Burnout Paradise, but Burnout 3 is always my favorite. I was actually let down by Revenge. Just didn't have the same feel. But I'm actually curious in chat. We'll have to come back to this a little later just because of the delay and whatnot. But if anybody was able to get a PS5, and what launch game are you playing? Because I know we have Astro's Playroom, we have Demon's Souls, we have Sackboy, we have Spider-Man Miles Morales. Not a bad lineup, honestly, for the launch.
No.
Yeah, and I have to say Sackboy, and we'll have video up on the channel probably at this rate tomorrow. But it is delightful. Like, it is really, really cute. My partner walked in on me like playing the first level, and she's like, "Nope, this is cute. You have to stop until I'm back." so I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll go back to Demon's Souls then." But
no, that'd be really weird if she came in and saw Demon's Souls. Nope, this is cute. You got to wait till I'm back.
Yeah, she's like, "This is
Demon's Souls
adorable.
cute. I'll be right back."
I would love to see you fight the 8-eyed, sack-bellied monster. But no, the Demon's Soul, or now I'm thinking about Demon's Souls. Sackboy, my favorite thing about it, and John asked about this on Twitter, is that if you've ever played like a Little Big Planet game, the physics are really, really floaty and slippery, and they don't feel great, especially if you're used to like Mario, right? It's not quite Mario good, but I would say it feels like they looked at Yoshi's Crafted World and they're like, let's make this with Sackboy. It is really, really charming.
That, I was always curious about it, and I know it came out on the PS4 as well, but it might be one of those things like, wait for the PS5 type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. I mean, I can't say, obviously, because I haven't played the PS4 version yet. I can't say what's improved or different. It doesn't feel like one of those showcase games, but the visuals are just good enough that I'm like, they definitely enhance something.
Looking through the chat, Evernight Studio, no PS5 here. Dan Entwistle is in the UK, so has to wait a week. Roman Kliczynski,
Here's
not
our
yet.
Ken dog.
Yay! Oh, puppy.
He has
Oh my gosh, he's adorable.
He's recovering from his neutering, but he should get this off this weekend.
Oh, that's adorable.
Sorry.
No. Dog.
Hey, we love all types of furry friends here at GVG.
Absolutely. Cute
Doggo.
puppy. Yeah, chat. Yeah, screw the PS5. Dog is where it's at.
He heard us talking about PS5 when he came in. He's like, what's this about?
Really, looking through the chat, most people did not get it. Either they're waiting for a bundle or waiting for a certain game, or try to get one and just not happening. Like put it into the Walmart cart and then be gone. And I've seen that a few times on.
Yep. It was definitely.
That was today, right? Was it?
Yeah, it was definitely a difficult system to get your hands on. A local friend of mine, he found out I got a review unit, and he's like, hey, you have a pre-order you don't need anymore, right? And so I actually, at 10 this morning, met him at my local GameStop and just let him, pay off my PS5 and take it home with him. So I was happy I was able to do that for someone.
nice.
I wish I could have done it for more people, but I also didn't Jeff Keighley it and and buy 5 of them. So
there you go. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic because, we have the PlayStation 5 out, but earlier this week, the Xbox Series X came out, and
wow.
It has already sold, in its first day, it sold more units combined and in more countries than any previous Microsoft console, according to Phil Spencer.
Wow.
It is doing extremely well. He actually said, "Thank you for supporting the largest launch in Xbox history. We're working with retail to resupply as quickly as possible. You continue to show us the connective power of play is more important than ever." So they don't know which model sold more units or anything like that because, well, we'll get into that for the next little bit. But yeah, it is crazy. I did not think, I thought they'd do fine, but I did not realize it would be their biggest launch.
Yeah, I feel like the Xbox 360 probably would have had that honor. Like, it was an insanely popular console when it released. And because the buzz around the Series X has been relatively kind of low compared to the PS5, or at least that's how it feels, right? Mm-hmm. And I know we spent like a good chunk of last night dogging on Xbox because of the Japanese publisher thing, but I mean, it is a really, really good console. I can see Dan and Twistle in the chat has been mentioning like Forza Horizon 4 and how Game Pass is incredible, and he's absolutely right. Like Forza Horizon 4, I was actually playing it like kind of when we were in the finalization steps of our plans for GVG, and so I changed my license plate. So if you see Steve GVG driving around in your Forza, that's me. But yeah,
nice.
This is a surprising bit of news. I even though I love the Series X and I think it's a great console, I'm pretty shocked that it's their biggest launch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised too. I remember, what was it? I remember when this 360 was first revealed. I think it was like on MTV with the Killers. Had like a band. There was some sort of show I remember watching, probably sponsored by Mountain Dew. And I remember they revealed the 360 on this pedestal, and I think it was like the Killers was playing. I almost sure it was MTV, but
It was,
and that was a big deal. Like, I loved playing that Halo, and that 360 was awesome.
That reveal caused me so much guilt, like over a decade later. So they, I was a much younger man back then, and they had Elijah Wood hosting it. And I was like,
weren't we all?
Elijah Wood, fake gamer, doesn't play anything. And then I'm at E3, no joke, like 10, 12 years later, and Ubisoft puts me into a demo for the original The Division. Mm-hmm. And who am I standing next to playing the game in the demo? Elijah freaking Wood. I was like, what? Why are you here? And I felt so bad. Like, I immediately flashed back to that moment in my mind. I'm like, I was so wrong about you, Elijah Wood.
You should just
Frodo
told him that.
plays
You should lean over and be like,
games.
I was so wrong about you. And just that's all you say to him when you're playing the game. Just lean over and just whisper that to him. Would have confused him forever. Like, yeah.
That's amazing. He might think like
security.
He might hear that and think, did he think I was actually the size, like that tall as a hobbit?
Side note, he is actually really good at The Division. I mean, at least he was. So
nice.
I mean, he definitely taught me a thing or two, inadvertently, of course. He didn't speak to me at all.
Yeah. Oh, well. Kind of connected to this is Phil Spencer also said that they will not be divulging sales numbers of the Series X and S because their major focus is on how many players they have and how much they play. I think it really drives to a point, like, even though they're selling so well, like they end up seeing internally that they outsold the PS5, they would not still divulge those numbers because it's not what their focus is. They are really looking into this whole games as a service thing and Game Pass and just connectivity rate. It's really interesting, like that aspect. But it's also kind of funny. It's like, we just had our best-selling time of launch of all time, but we're not going to tell you the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the messaging is a little weird, but I do like the approach. Like, one, I like the idea that they won't start their own mini internal console war between Series S and Series X owners. And two, like you said, Derek, it kind of hints at their larger philosophy about becoming more of just a nebulous platform as opposed to a hardware manufacturer. Like the hardware matters, but not nearly as much as the games and the software layer behind it. Because I love the idea of xCloud. I wish PlayStation would do something similar. Like I'd love to be able to just play Miles Morales on my phone, or Demon's Souls on maybe not Demon's Souls. I need every frame of latency I can save, but I love the ideas of.
And
what
it's a cute
Microsoft
game
is
too.
doing.
Your partner, you got to hold on to Demon's Souls. You can't play Demon's Souls without your partner. Remember, so.
Exactly. It's the cutest game of 2020.
Cutest game.
Absolutely. It's some
I think
interesting
it's
quotes
interesting.
here.
It's like. We haven't seen that before. Cause, usually everybody else does. It's all about sales numbers too. So I actually, this first, like I said, I was at a mechanic all day, so I actually didn't read that until you guys said it now, and that's really interesting to kind of focus on numbers rather than sales figures. Like I said, especially having a successful launch and saying we've had our most successful launch, but we're not going to focus on that part. We're going to focus on different numbers. It's a different approach. I like that.
Yeah. He actually said, I'm not going to go compete with their numbers based on how many Xbox Series X I've sold. Google is never going to talk about how many Chromecast Pros they sold. They're going to talk about how many players they have. So I think people who want to put us against Sony based on who sold the most consoles lost the context of what gaming's about today. There are 3 billion people who play games on the planet, but maybe only 200 million households that actually have a video game console. So, yeah, it's an interesting philosophy, and I said it many times before, but it's fascinating to see the different paths that Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft have taken for this generation.
That is some incredibly loaded messaging, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I mean, comparing themselves to Stadia, which is a real easy dunk.
Yeah.
But
the
other side of that too, though, is just, I mean, that is kind of dripping with like, not a lot of people buy consoles, but a lot of people play games. It really is kind of a hint at where their thought process is, and frankly, I like it. I mean, I hope they still continue to make boxes because they're going to have to make some hardware for the cloud games to run on. Because I'll always be a guy that prefers to have a console in my home. I like having the piece of hardware, but I also get the sense as I become older that is definitely the old man in me starting to emerge. Like kids 20 years from now are going to be like, everything's on the internet, Dad. It's fine. And I'm going to be like, I want my box under my TV.
I mean,
don't tell me to get online.
I have so many these boxes, and in my head, I know there's no reason to get them because they're empty. There's nothing in here. It's just a disc, which has to be loaded and installed anyway. But it's the old man in me is like, no, I like it on the shelf. I own this. This is mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's weird.
Yeah.
We have this conversation too all the time, and I think you're right. Like the next generation is going to be like more like, do you want to have a DVD on your shelf, or do you want to just load up Netflix and watch all your stuff? You know, it's going to be.
I used to collect DVDs, and then once we moved here, once we started packing everything up, then you realize like how many boxes of stuff, and you're like, I think we could get rid of some of these movies. I haven't watched these movies in decades. That's what we did.
But we're not like that with the games, though.
No, games. Games. It's like any game that I have goes in a box, and we'll move it from place to place. But yeah,
it feels like also a collectible too.
Yeah, it's
especially the older stuff that has like the manuals and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Those are really awesome. I wish they would make those again.
Yeah,
and I'm always one of the people that every time a game's announced, I'm like, come on for a Switch physical version, because I don't want to get burned buying digital first and then they announce a physical later. So I usually miss out on some pretty good digital games, just holding on to like Goose Game. So happy they got a physical version because that's what I waited on. So we're definitely people who buy physical. Sometimes if it's never coming physical, we'll buy it digitally, but most of the time we kind of hold off just to have that little box on a shelf.
Switch is the one that broke me from being mostly physical because it's just so convenient to have them all on that. And, working in games media, you get sent codes a lot. And like it used to be they mailed out the actual physical box to you, but now it's all codes. And it's like, well, I have them digitally. And I will admit, there are certain games where I've been sent a code and I still go out and buy the game because I want that physical version.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Me too.
I double dipped on
Luckily,
Goose.
whenever we've gotten codes. Oh, sorry.
No, please go ahead.
No,
go ahead. You're our guest, please.
I was just I was just gonna say, luckily there's the both of us, so whenever we get sent a code, I'll use the digital on my Switch, and then we'll end up getting the physical anyway. So
like
we have the
Splatoon.
collectible.
I mean, even and especially for us, like to share, it's so much easier to share the games just by handing a physical
That
card
too.
to each other than. So for us, like when we get, if there's a game, especially that we both like Dragon Quest 11, we're both playing through, and we have the one physical card we share back and forth, and we're working our way through it. But it's like that had to be a physical version of that game.
But there is something to be said about like the laziness and ease of just like sitting in bed and loading through your games.
Yes.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
without having to like get up and like get the cartridge.
She'll play.
put the cartridge
She'll
in.
play Mario Maker 2. She'll use the code Nintendo sent us for it. And then I'll be right back. I got to run inside and find the box and get the cartridge and switch them out. And she's already done playing, and I'm like, I'll be right there. But it's it's we do the same thing. Sometimes we double dip on them as well.
Yeah.
Just especially with the multiplayer game like Splatoon, where you need 2 copies to play. That's what we usually do.
Yeah,
That
for
makes
me
sense.
these days, I feel like my physical games are the ones that are only the ones that I feel some kind of attachment to. Like, I reviewed Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I loved it, so I went out and bought, like, the collector's edition, because I also have
Nice.
the original PlayStation 1 version. I was like, I want those 2 boxes next to each other to satisfy some weird part of my lizard brain. And I did the same with Goose Game. I reviewed that, and then, when I saw it was getting a physical, I'm like, this game is excellent, and I'm definitely buying it. So I bought a physical copy to go with my digital copy. But I'm also, like, with Derek in that, man, it is so convenient, especially on the Switch, more so than other consoles, to just have as many games as you can just in your library on that thing, because it's just like, oh, what do I want to play today? I've got 100 friggin' games on here I can flip through, and I mean, anything portable, I feel like it's way nicer to just have a digital copy, because you don't have to lug anything extra with you. You just take the console and you're out.
We all remember the days of the Game Boy and having
Yeah.
the huge case that like lined up with Game Boy
Yes, we
cartridges.
do.
And the link cable to play with somebody else, and like a backpack full of stuff with you.
Oh, those were the days.
But yeah, I think especially traveling, like when we were any conventions we would go to, like having the Switch and having digital copies on them is nice, because you're on the plane and sometimes you just can't like dig through a bag and try to find it. The seats are so small, so it's like just to sit there and just kind of swipe through and be like, I'll play this one now, and it's nice. The portability is perfect for the Switch with digital.
And especially with the Switch too, like the cartridges are so small. Like the
Yeah.
retro games, the original games, the cartridges were like significant. I don't know. I get nervous that
Yeah.
little cartridge is gonna somehow get ruined.
Hmm.
Because it's so tiny. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's kind of like a SD card or something. I don't know.
We did the retail job last holiday for Nintendo. Like we had like the red shirts where we're in stores promoting
Oh,
the
nice.
Switch, and most of the families we talked to said that they buy digital because their kids are too small, and they would tell me stories about like doing the laundry and like a bunch of Switch games afterwards fall out of the kids'
Oh.
pockets, and they're like, we just washed their library. So like anytime we talked to parents who had like probably like 8 and under, it was like, nope, show me the digital card, show me how to install it. Like I'm not buying anything physical because they're gonna lose it or it's gonna end up
Or
in the
they
laundry.
take it to school and forget it at
Yeah.
school.
Oh, see, that's
and
really
it never comes
interesting.
back.
So my
Most of the parents.
Yeah, my oldest daughter is 7, and we have a library system for Switch games in the house, because I got her a Switch for Christmas last year. And so we have like a shelf in the house with all the Switch games on it, and we have a rule that she can only check out one at a time. And so it's, she has to,
Yes.
when she's done, and we have like parental controls, so she's limited on time, but when her time's up, she has to bring me back whatever game she checked out, and we put it back in the case, and we put it back
Nice.
on the shelf. But there is in my mind that fear of like, one day I'm going to open a case and just find like my favorite game is missing. And I'm going to look
Whose
at my
game
daughter
will
and be
just be
like, where is
gone?
it? And she's just going to give me that look like she destroyed it.
It's like
Wow.
deer in
Yep,
the headlights.
exactly that one.
Exactly. Like I didn't do anything.
That's a good. I like that system though.
That's really
That's a
clever.
cool
'cause
system.
At least only one will be missing at a time.
Yeah.
That's true.
And if something goes wrong, at least you can kind of like protect the rest of it. Before.
Yeah, exactly. Like, to her
Before
credit, nothing
they
has
all
ever
escape.
happened.
Yeah.
She's been really, really good about it. But if you're watching, Avery, just know that Daddy's afraid of you.
It's so funny looking at with all of us. You remember as kids, and I've talked to a lot of other people grown up at our age, where they had to beg their parents to get one game, and that game had to last them for how long. And now
Yes.
Steve's a parent. I just became a parent. It's like, oh, my kid's not going to have that issue.
Oh yeah. My daughter is in 2nd grade, and she goes to school and brags about it. She's like, my daddy gets every video game. My daddy has games you've never seen before. Like she when she came home the day we got the PlayStation 5, she came in and she goes, what's that? And I'm like, oh, that's the new PlayStation. And she goes, does anyone else have it yet? And I'm like, not most people. And she's like, okay, I'm going to go talk about it tomorrow. I'm like, you're a jerk. You're that kid.
Yeah, you're the uncle at Nintendo.
I'm the dad that works with Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Well,
As are you now, Derek.
Now
that I think about it.
Want to come over to play?
Yes.
the house that everybody comes over to play.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I both hope for that and don't hope for
Popular
that.
house.
Yeah,
But it probably will happen.
Yeah.
There's something fun about that, seeing a bunch of kids get together to play the games that you grew up with and something like that. Because I don't know, it's kind of cool.
Then you can like bust out some of the retro games and like show them how good you are.
Yeah.
At it.
Yeah. I can just imagine.
Yeah.
Just so we can have the obligatory Mega Man reference in here. Ash showing
Yep.
up, showing his son. It's like, all right, here's the original Mega Man. Just bust it out in like an hour, a half hour. I was like, all right, there you go. You try. That type thing. I don't know what you do, but find some way.
I remember buying games from Toys R Us where they used to buy them by the flap.
I remember those flaps.
The little
Those
flap, and
flaps
you
were
Turn the
amazing.
flap upside down.
Yes.
And you like take the
Oh my-
lid. There was you didn't have boxes. You had the little slip you had to take to it like the register, and they had to go in the back cage and bring you out your game. And like if you lifted up the flap and the pouch was empty, you're like, no, it's sold out. And that's how we used to like buy our games back then. And same
Oh my
thing with
God,
like going
that
to
was-
rent them at Blockbuster.
I love
whatever-
that because it was like a golden ticket. You held onto it so tight.
Oh yeah, whatever
Yes.
merchandising
Yeah.
or marketing person came up with that idea for Toys R Us, I sincerely hope they're rich now. Like I sincerely hope that person is incredibly wealthy, because there was nothing better as a kid than getting that slip. Like, and they would, and the cashiers,
Yeah.
at least at my local Toys R Us as a kid, were smart enough to be like, we hand that to the child. Like, like after the parent pays for it, they'd never ask. They just hand it to the kid, and I'd run over to the little window,
That's
and
nice.
the almost certainly beleaguered employee would be like, yeah, Street Fighter 2, I got it. But yeah, it was just such a thrill.
Yeah.
I to this day remember how good I felt getting Street Fighter 2 Turbo that way. Like, kids these days,
Ooh, good
I'm
one.
sorry.
I still remember going through the SNES aisle when that was going on because I had a Genesis, and I saw Donkey Kong Country 2, and I'm like, I want like that. That's when I begged my parents the hardest to get an SNES, and never happened because I already have the Genesis. But it's so brilliant. Just really sticks with you. I'm pretty sure every kid who grew up the same time around
You
us
won.
remembers that feeling.
Oh yeah.
She actually got her Super Nintendo in an odd way, actually.
Oh, really?
As a kid.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
so I grew up in Trinidad. I spent my childhood there. I only came over when I was like 13. So growing up in Trinidad, it was harder to like get the games and stuff. So there was actually like a Colgate toothpaste, or I think it was a Pepsodent toothpaste or Colgate toothpaste contest.
Wow.
And you had to like collect all the boxes and then post in. Yeah. So they had a bundle that was a Super Nintendo and Mario All-Star package, like all in one box. So I think maybe that's kind of a rare one to find. And all of our family members, we all like put in these slips for each one of us, and then we won.
Wow, that's actually
I'm
really
so
cool.
lucky. I never win stuff like that. I remember back in the day, McDonald's had the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 contest. Like you'd send in, like enter it in, and you could win the game when it comes out. And I remember begging for McDonald's constantly as a kid. Didn't win, but it's just like, I want it. I think I got all the toys. I don't know where they're at, but I got all those little Sonic toys that were promoting it. But
Oh wow.
never.
I never really
Never won
anything
contest.
either. We were just really lucky that time, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it was
I have a friend who's
the All-Star collection, which was exciting.
I have a friend who's won like 2 of those Taco Bell like Xbox giveaways.
Really?
I'm like, how? How do you have that kind of luck? Like,
seriously?
I think they gave away like a gold Xbox one time, like painted gold, obviously, and she won that. And then they had like some other different model of Xbox One, and she won that. Like they were back to back too. And I was just like, I don't know if you just eat at Taco Bell like an unhealthy amount, which to be fair is like one time, but
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, I'm with you, Derek. I've never won anything like that, and I would be so thrilled if just once I could win a contest like that. That is such a cool story.
Here's what's really funny. Christian S in the chat, that McDonald's contest, he won it. It's the only contest he ever won.
Nice.
That's crazy. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, but also...
Derek is so salty about this.
That was a nice thumbs up, I think.
I've never wanted to win a contest more than that one for some reason. I love Sonic 2 so much, but and Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 Knuckles is my favorite Sonic game, so there you go. All right. Well,
you'll win something. Maybe.
But let's have some Nintendo news for a bit here as Mario, there's an interview with the developers of Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which Steve has and got to try out. I've not picked it up myself. But the devs initially thought that including drift would be impossible, and they found a way to do it. So I'll be honest, I haven't looked too much into it just because I didn't plan on buying it. I can't believe this thing has drift.
Yeah, it's
that's incredible.
It's really weird because when I was playing it initially for the review, I just assumed it couldn't do it because I'm like, physically that doesn't make sense, and so I didn't try it for like half of the review period, and then finally I was like, wait, I pushed the, just out of muscle memory, I pushed the hop button, and I was like, the cart's hopping on the screen, and I look back, I'm like, it's not hopping in the real world, but that's okay, and then I was like, wait, if it can hop, it can drift, and so I tried it. And in game it works, but it just like cuts a real interesting angle like the real kart does. But I mean, when you're playing it and you're not thinking about it, it feels exactly like Mario Kart 8, and that is so weird.
That is awesome.
Wild.
Yeah,
we haven't actually opened ours yet because of the puppy. We were talking about. We're like, it's such an expensive thing, and we got Mario and Luigi, and we were so excited to play. And we're like, cardboard pieces, a car driving through it, like it's gonna be like one lap and he's gonna destroy it. So we haven't played it yet. We have it and we're hoping to maybe like find a room we could like put a gate up and maybe play it while he watches safely. Because he's gonna destroy it.
Yeah,
he's a sweet boy, but he will definitely destroy it.
Dogs definitely react very interestingly to that game.
I think that was what people got the most kicks out of with Mario Kart Live, was just chasing their pets around.
Oh yeah.
It's all the different cat videos, and we saw so many cat videos on Twitter of people's like cars just having a cat jump into the frame, and it's really pricey, and I just don't want to just have it get ruined yet. So we're gonna figure out a way we might hold on to it, and maybe once he gets a little older, play. But it looks really good. Like, we're really interested in it. Making your own Mario Kart level in your house is a really cool idea. So we're for it. It's just that we haven't actually gotten a chance to try it ourselves. Right? Come back over.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
The puppy.
Milo's having an interesting day today. Let's just say
What's your puppy's name?
Milo.
Oh my.
That's cute.
So you guys are gonna love this. That was one of the names on that we were gonna name my son.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's actually his middle name.
Oh, that is
Nice.
adorable.
Oh, that's so
That's really
So,
funny.
What's the
Wait,
story
is that
behind that?
Wait, say it again.
What was the story behind
The name.
for
Yeah.
you? Because we had a story behind choosing it for Milo.
I think I just heard it and I was like, you know what? I kind of dig that name. I think actually the genesis might have been, of all things, Miles, but I'm not a huge fan of Miles, and I was like, well, variations and Milo, that kind of works. So kind of a Tails references at first.
Yeah. Miles per hour.
Yeah, exactly. Took me so long to get that pun, by the way. Never
Me too.
realized
I was like,
it.
when I finally got it, I'm like, oh. tails miles per hour. Oh, it's like when you say it out loud, and you're like, oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it all of a sudden clicks. But yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, with the Mario Kart drifting, they actually said so. The explanation behind it was, together with Nintendo, we focused on nailing the feel of Mario Kart across speed classes ranging from 50cc to 200cc, while maintaining familiar Mario Kart controls and features, including drift. The idea of adding drift to the game seemed impossible, but we knew that it is such a critical aspect of Mario Kart, especially for expert players. A late Project Weekend experiment at Valen, with some suggestions from the Nintendo team, suddenly added drift, and it brought that important layer of skilled driving that players expect of Mario Kart. It was a journey of learning to overcome our own doubts that led the Mario Kart Live home circuit to become the product that it is. So, yeah, they didn't really go into how they did it. They just figured it out somehow. So
the Nintendo magic.
It works.
The secret magic. That's incredible.
That's incredible, yeah. I'm excited to try it. Like I heard Danny saying, like we just haven't opened it because of Milo. Because we saw the videos of like cats playing with it, and it's very cute. But Milo's a big puppy. I know his big puppy paws are just gonna like smash into the cardboard.
Yeah.
So maybe when he gets a little calmer, or maybe we'll like leave him in a room and set it up or something.
Instead of saying we'll put a gate up somewhere and like you can watch from the gate and you're a spectator.
It would be so awesome to have him in it and like see him as an obstacle, but I just have a feeling he'd probably just...
He'd be our little blue shell. That would be game over for us. That'd be the end.
He wouldn't mean to. He's full of love.
Man, you're talking... I was just thinking Nintendo, just him like going on the screen like in Smash Brothers, and he does that to Danny when he jumps up.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
He's having an interesting day. Usually he's like really calm and just really cool, and all day today he's just been like...
It's the not attention,
hyper.
I think.
I don't know what's going on.
He's like, why are they shouting at this computer screen?
That's our technical difficulties on our end.
So weird.
There we go.
So, sorry this
is
kind of a
it's
disaster episode. Of my
Active dog.
Yeah, there you go. Active dog.
Yes.
Active dog, I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, the last bit of news...
done all day.
Yeah. The last bit of news we got for today was regarding Ghost of Tsushima, which another game I haven't picked up. I was interested in, didn't get to pick up, but apparently it did really well, selling 5 million units since launch.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
I didn't hear a lot of people talking about that one, not as much as like Last of Us. So I was like, I figured like it probably did well, but no, this is I think it
really
might
well.
be the best-selling game for Sucker Punch at this point.
Wow.
It's their fastest-selling first-party original PS4 game with more than 5 million copies sold since its debut. So
it's a really good game. Like I don't want to say like exceptional or extraordinary or anything like that. It's not like a 10 out of 10 or a generation defining game, but
What
it
kind
is
of vibes does it
really
give
fun
you?
to play.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would say it's a solid good vibes, bordering on great vibes. It is a really fun, like it's got that kind of quality like a good popcorn flick. Like it is enjoyable throughout and really hard to put down. But it ultimately isn't something that's going to stick with you for like years following, right?
I kind of feel that way about Infamous in a way. Like I enjoy Infamous. I have a lot of good memories of it, but it's also not like, unless I'm actively trying to think of it, it doesn't really come to mind too much. Slight correction, by the way. The person who said that was Herman Holst, the head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios. So yeah, best-selling first-party original PS4 game, which is really saying something like for original. I'm guessing not including God of War because that's technically a sequel, and Last of Us 2 was also a sequel, that kind of thing. But still crazy.
Yeah, it did really well. I bought a copy for a friend who had skipped it. He was just like, oh yeah, I just didn't want to drop the money. So I was like, well, I'll do it for you. And I sent him a copy of it. And he has now just
That's
been
nice
like,
of you.
he picked, yeah, I try, he's a good friend. But he picked up his PS5 today, and the first thing he loaded was Ghost of Tsushima. Instead of any of his launch games, he's like, yeah, I got to finish Ghost of Tsushima before I keep playing. And if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, it actually runs at 60 FPS on PS5. So it's actually pretty well improved, and it was already like a pretty solid game, but it looks and plays just a bit better on PS5.
Nice.
Wow.
I mean, that state of play they had focusing on it was really impressive and sold me on the game. Like, it just had that nice feel to it. So it's something I wanted to get to, but then the response to it was kind of like a little up and positive to middling. So I'm like, I haven't even played Last of Us Part 2 yet, and I have all these other games and so much else going on.
Too many games.
Yeah.
Too many games.
I mean, I have so many games to get back to. Amy wants me to play Horizon Zero Dawn so much. I want to try it myself.
It looks
I've been
good.
I played the original Nier on PS3 to prep myself to play Nier Automata. Have yet to play Nier Automata, so
Wow.
it's so much. So much. Whoops, sorry.
Derek, you need to let me know when you're playing through that, because I've owned Nier Automata for years now and just haven't gotten more than like 20 minutes in. And it's not for lack of interest. I just had other stuff to play. But when you do, I'm going to try to play it alongside you, and so we can get together and discuss the game as two people who missed the train on it.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
It'll be interesting. Like, if you want to actually get some backstory on the Nier franchise, it's kind of fascinating. I think you'd dig it, Steve. There's a video series by a YouTuber named Clemps, Clemps, and his reviews of the games that led up to it, because it's actually Nier is a spin-off of Drakengard, of all things.
Oh wow, I played Drakengard 3 on PS3, so yeah, I'd be interested to check that out.
It's pretty, because the game's not exactly, Drakengard is not a great game to play, but the story, the Yoko Taro story, is interesting. So there's that. Another
Is
memory.
anybody picking up the Game & Watch tonight? The Nintendo Game & Watch?
I completely forgot about
Waiting
that.
for-
Probably not.
Tomorrow's the launch. I'm expecting like 1 a.m. Eastern, probably pre-orders go. I mean, not pre-orders, I guess, but like orders online. I'll be up tonight hoping to get it. Just get one.
Yes,
I think it's sold out today on Nintendo's website already.
That's the
I don't
thing
know.
that bugged me. I was all in for this thing. And I kind of forgot because they didn't open pre-orders. and like,
Yeah.
I remember John mentioned that pre-orders had opened in Europe like a long time ago. And I was just like, oh, any day now. Any day now Nintendo's going to let me order this thing, because it is an objectively cool looking toy to have. Like,
Yes.
a color Game & Watch, and just them reviving like a long forgotten brand. I love that stuff. So I definitely want one.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to rush out to try to find one, but if pre-order or orders open up somewhere like Amazon and I can get it without too much effort, then yeah, I'm all in for it. Because I mean, you can't see it because I have my camera tilted a different way, but I have like a shelf of stuff back there that I plan to shoot videos in front of at some point in time. And I would love to have the Game & Watch up there with all my other stuff. I have like the Master Sword and Yoshi and a bunch of other cool things.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it
We
looks,
need to see that.
Yeah,
It looks awesome.
and when we're off the air, I'll turn the camera, because right now, if I turned it from where I'm at, you'd see like my bed and a bunch of other stuff.
I'm sure viewers would love to
Yeah,
see
sure.
that.
I'm not sure I'd
An
love for them
inside
to
look
see.
of your life.
But yeah, I think because they did that with the Mario Kart. I think only we ordered it from Walmart. I think we were the only ones where like pre-orders go up, and everybody else was like the night of the launch. I guess from the like midnight or 1 a.m. was like Amazon and Best Buy and Target and GameStop. So it's like, I know I'm guessing tonight at like 12 to 1 a.m. it's going to be the same thing here. Like Amazon will put theirs up, GameStop. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get one
Hopefully
too.
we're
And
lucky.
look, everybody in chat is going to be going for it too.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can all snag it.
I don't know if I'll be.
looks
I don't know if
cool.
I'll be going for it. It's a cool little thing, but I don't have the extra money for that kind of thing right now. So I'll probably be skipping it. It does make me miss it, because I had a Game & Watch growing up. I had Boat, the one where you catch the guys parachuting.
Ooh.
And I remember playing that in car rides, like waiting for dentist appointments and playing that. But I think it ran out of batteries, and I didn't know how to change it, so I just sort of went in a drawer.
Oh.
And forgotten about it, and I think I found it later. I was like, battery destroyed it, and I had to toss it. So, unfortunately, I don't have my Game & Watch anymore, but it's still cool.
Aw.
But, well, I think with that, we've covered all the major headlines from today's news. A bit more of our podcasty episode, because there's not a lot of news today, but I had fun.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for
Yeah.
having us.
Yeah,
this
thanks
was
for coming
awesome.
on.
Absolutely. And
Sorry, we've been minor distractions.
Sorry for the
major
audio for
distractions
everybody because he's like
with
scratching
our
around and playing with his
crazy
toy.
doggo right now.
no need
He's
to
a sweet boy.
apologize for a puppy.
He's chasing his ball
I
around the room,
see.
so,
But yeah,
he likes being close to us
I
when
know
he
you
plays.
guys have been, a little not as active on YouTube, but where can everybody find you at to enjoy more of your content, or just you guys in general?
Yeah, I think right now it's going to be on Twitter or we have the YouTube channel and Twitch. So we come back, it'll probably be streaming on Twitch mostly. I think it's like Twitch/The Power Couple, Twitch.tv/The Power Couple.
But for now, you can follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
It's the best place because we're always on there. Either on our personal accounts or at our
The brand
Nintendo
account.
Power Couple brand, Twitter account.
And he's really after that ball.
Can
Yeah,
you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his cone hitting our feet in the desk.
Oh.
So
I think too, like because he has his cone, we've been stopping him from running around like crazy because the vet told us like
stitches.
it could hurt his stitches if he's running around too much or jumping too much. So he has like all this pent up energy. So
he gets them out tomorrow though. So his stitches will come out
That's
tomorrow
good.
morning at 8:00. So he can't wait, and we can't wait to get the cone off his head.
I bet.
Have
we'll
our
be
boy
able to
back.
like play outside again with him
And
he'll be
snuggle
much
him without
happier.
this gigantic satellite dish that's in our
The
way.
cone of shame.
And the next time we're on,
Yes,
he will be calmer.
it'll be a quieter on our end stream.
That's
so
totally
just
fine.
mute our
Yeah,
audio
we
the
definitely
whole
want to
time.
have both of you on again because this was a lot of fun, and we'll have all the
Yeah.
links to your stuff in the description so everybody can check that out.
And thank you, Chad. That's very. I see Dan said thanks, Feely and Milo. Thank you for being on. Thank you.
There you go.
Thanks again. Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
good.
everybody.
But before we sign off, we have to give a special thanks to all of our patrons at the producer tier for helping to make this show happen. And in addition, a massive thank you to our patrons at the executive producer tier and above. And those fine folks include Rob Arman X, Dan Entwistle, Z Patty, Adam O'Sullivan, Floating Mew, Christopher Baque, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Ornstar, Dukamon, Diogo, Kieran Phillips, Benny Yao, Rosa Bowling, Mama Bowling, as we have to shout out every time now.
Hi, Mom.
Geller, Shiny Turkey, Titus Malvolio, Jake Pelka, Michael Phone, Mitchell Herring, and Game Explain. And remember that you too can become a patron over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where you can watch today's news tonight live for as little as $5 a month, along with all the fine people we have in chat today. And thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Good Vibes Gaming for more good times like these. And until next time, good night, good vibes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.